says my resource for all administration tasks. I think she might have pinged today, right? About
Yes,
the
yes, she has. Yeah.
Okay, now I started. Okay, I'll make a post. So I made you host for them already. You can continue, please. Okay, na?
Yeah, okay. Okay, sir. Good evening, Priyanka. Uh, I want to I want to show you something before I say any single word about theory. You can see this screen, right? Screen
Yes.
visible? Yes, yeah. So this is what we are gonna have on our screens by 9 p.m. tonight. Okay, a live working Fiori application running on SAP BTP with real purchase order data. Okay, a filter bar at the top, like we have a filter the bars. This gonna be at the top. A table with a pivot columns. Okay, a table with pivot columns. A object page. When you click on a row, it is gonna show you one page, but entirely in ABAP. We are gonna do it entirely using ABAP. No JavaScript, no HTML, and no gateway configurations. So we are gonna build every single of it together right now today. So before that, let's discuss and recap. Have a 3 minutes of recap of our previous sessions. Okay, I just wanted to connect the dots from session 1, session 2, and session 3. So in the session 1, we set up the development environment. Like we have a BTP trial account, Eclipse ADT installed, and ADT is we saw how ADT is gonna be connected to Eclipse BTP cockpit using in BTP cockpit, BTP ABAP system, how these things are getting connected. We have seen that. And in the session 1, we have talking about we have seen actually how we can create a package in Eclipse ADT, and we have created a class, and we have produced a console output for that as well. So that was the foundation layer. Okay. Without that, today understanding will be a bit difficult, but I will recap it when I'm doing it by step by step. Okay. So in the step 2, we learned the rules of ABAP cloud cloud application, sorry, ABAP cloud languages. So in that, what we have learned, we are not going to have any call function, no direct select on SAP standard tables, and no submit buttons and all. So but we have the ATC checker which fires automatically whenever we activate our class in Eclipse ADT. And we also seen talked about released APIs and XCO framework for utilities like UUID and timestamps. And I have been asking for the homeworks as well to practice more in our free times. So we also ran Z good class, where we have selected from I underscore currency, and there we have seen how the ATC errors will come, and without zero ATC errors and all, and real data in the console. Okay, now here in is the connection to today that I want you to understand this clearly. Like in RAP, which we build from the next slide onwards. Okay, we are gonna talk about it from the next slide onwards. Every CDS view we create, like whatever the CDS view we are gonna create, is automatically a BAP cloud data access object. Okay, the ATC checker will run on every CDS view and every behavior definitions, every ABAP class we are gonna create today. Yes, and release API rules apply to every layer automatically. So whatever we have learned from session 2 and session 3, are gonna be sorry, session 2 and session 1 are gonna be useful in this session. Okay. So basically, what let's talk about, like, in this whole session we are gonna talk about what is RAP and the 7 layer architecture about it, and then using those 7 layer we are gonna have a build live practical thing. Okay, so this is how it's gonna be looking like later. So let's talk about what is RAP. Okay, so let me ask you something, like, when you build a Fiori application in classical ABAP on S4 HANA on-premise system, how many separate technical areas do you need to work in? Like, if you means like if you have created, if you have seen with the people who have created it, or if you have worked on it, you know that OData, if we want to create an OData service, it's done through SCGW. Am I right, Priyanka? You are there?
Yes.
Yeah. Is anyone else there in the class? Okay, Pooja is also joined. Hi, Pooja. So, Priyanka, means like I'm asking you, have you worked on OData services, any ABAP method? Yeah.
What did I didn't work?
Means in ABAP we have OData services using transaction SCGW.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. Means
Yes,
like
I worked on.
you
I have.
have worked on Pooja. Yeah. Then this may be sound familiar to you. Like if you want
Yes.
to build a Fiori application in classical ABAP, we need to create a OData service in transaction SCGW. We need to write ABAP methods like get entity set, create
Yes.
entity, update entity. These ABAP methods we need to write, and we have to create a CDS view separately. Sometimes, like, in a complete different package we have to create, like, can you mute yourself, like,
Yes.
and you have means like we have to maintain gateway activation in separate transaction called slash IWFND slash maintain service, and we build a separate Fiori UI application and register in it in a launchpad. So see, in ABAP, classical ABAP, we have to follow these 5 steps, and this may involve basis team. Sometimes this may involve different packages. This may involve, you know, different group of peoples to do this. So that is like we have this 4 separate technology areas, right? Different skill set, different tool, different team members, and if some ABAP, sorry, some SAP basis team changes something in the gateway, our app gonna break. And if your CDS view gets transported before our SCGW service, then also our app gonna break. So transport sequence error alone causes hour of firefighting on this classical projects. If means like we need to follow the transport sequence to make it without breaking any app and go in a consistent and successful way. We need to follow this sequence. So this problem, like the classical ABAP having this problem, SAP recognized this problem. Like in 2018, it recognized and created RAP to solve this. Okay, these are all 4 layers. SAP created RAP to solve it. Okay, so here RAP stands for RESTful Application Programming. Okay, it is a single unified official SAP framework for building transactional Fiori applications in all the SAP landscape. So, so let me say that again, because it's gonna matter a lot. All modern SAP landscapes means not just BTP. Like as RAP is gonna work on SAP BTP ABAP environment, which we are using in this course, and S4 HANA Cloud Public Edition, S4 HANA Cloud Private Edition from 2022 onwards, and S4 HANA on premises from version 2021 onwards. So simply is like learn RAP once and use it across every modern SAP project you will ever work on. So here the question is like, what does RAP give you that classical development from the ABAP is not giving? So first of all, what it gives? Like it gives like one framework instead of four separate different technologies. We are using SCGW, creating methods, and creating gateways and all these things are reduced, and it's giving us entirely one framework. Okay. And like database tables plus CDS view plus in this one layer, what gonna have is like database table and CDS views plus behavior definition plus service binding. Everything comes into one, okay, one application. And this is the first advantage we are gonna have using RAP. Second one is OData V4 service, and these OData V4 services are generated automatically. No SCGW, no gateway configuration, no slash T code of slash high IWFND slash maintain service. So we don't need all this to create OData service V4 service. When we publish this service binding in ADT, the OData endpoint is live. It's gonna be saved live, and which we are gonna see in this class, like in this class today. Third, a standard 7-layer architecture that every developer on every project follows. Okay. When you join a BTP project, you immediately know the structure. Okay. When a new developer joins any project, they immediately understand what they have built. Fourth, enterprise grade feature built in like at zero additional effort, like optimization logging, which is handled by behavior definition log master. And we have some terminologies like draft saving, low role, like row level authorizations. All this like would take weeks to build in custom classical MM, but in RAP, everything like in RAP, there are configuration decisions which happens automatically. So let's go into the 7-layer architecture. Here means like even if you have developed and worked on many RAP projects, they are gonna question you like, what is RAP? How does it different from our classical SEGW data developments? How do you find this difference? What is what is the advantage you feel RAP is doing, why SAP brought up this solution. Everything means like this type of questions in real time interviews you may face. Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, next we are gonna talk about the 7-layer architecture. So, I want everyone to from here see very carefully. Okay. So, first one, RAP has exactly 7 layers. Like each layer has exactly one job. Every layer is gonna do one job. The layer flow goes from bottom up. Okay, it's gonna go bottom up. Where is this? There is it. Okay. And first of all, we are gonna talk about database layer. Okay, this the database layer. Let's take this one. This one. Okay, yeah. So this is the database layer. So this is a classical ABAP cloud DDIC transportable. Like in classical ABAP, we have seen SC11 database creation and all. Okay, same thing. This happens here in the database table layer. Okay, it is physical storage layer in HANA cloud. You means like we create it in entity exactly as you would create like in Z table. As I mentioned in S11, we go to the S11 and we create same that we are gonna create in ADT. The difference is you use a BAM cloud syntax with annotations instead of GUI. There we don't write anything to create a table. Here we are gonna follow this ABAP cloud syntax. So here for this session, our table is gonna be Z purchase order underscore HDR, because we are gonna work on HDR like production header. We are gonna work on that. So next, So next what we are gonna do, like let's talk about the CDS interface view. Okay, this CDS interface view, what does this do? CDS interface view, the prefix pattern is like I underscore V. Like see here you can able to see this I underscore, right? I underscore prefix. So why we are giving this I underscore? It indicates that it is an interface view. So here what happens is we can also tell is like data access layer. So it selects from the database table defined field alliances, whatever the field alliances we want, we will define here, and we define the associations to other entities. Okay, here basically it's gonna access the data from the database table. So most important, it has zero UI annotations. We don't have any annotations here. Sorry, here the pen is not working properly. Let's use this cursor. So here, this means like we don't have any UI annotations here in this serious view. This please keep in mind, we are not gonna have any UI line item, UI facets, nothing is gonna be related to UI. So this view is consumed by other layers as well, not directly by any Fiori application. So this is a stable data contract for any business object. I hope this is clear about CDS interface view. We will get to know layer by layer in the live session as well. Okay. Any doubts? Then you can ask over there. So next we're gonna have CDS projection view. CDS projection view means like the prefix pattern will start from C underscore. Okay. I have already means like made it visible here. C underscore. C underscore indicates that it is a projection CDS view. So we are gonna name it as ZCV. Okay, ZCV. You can also give like see interface view. I'm giving it as I view, projection view, but it's we are means like in terminologies we use C, so I'm giving it as C view. Okay, so here what happens? This is a Fiori facing layer. Okay, Fiori facing layer. uh, I hope this is understandable. Database table is like creation of tables, and CDS interface matlab means like data access layer, and third, the CDS projection view means Fiori facing layer. So it projects from the interface view. Whatever there is in the interface view, it is gonna be projected using CDS projection view, not from the direct table. So projection view is not gonna have the direct access to the database table. It's using interface view, like it's using interface view to view that means like to show the data inside the database table. Okay, so it's not gonna be directly from the backend table. So what happens here is here it adds all the UI annotations. Whatever the UI annotations we have, everything is gonna be added here because this is as we have in the name Fiori facing layer. Facing is means that we are presenting something. Okay, for representation, what we need UI user interface. So we are gonna use like UI line item which shows the list report columns, UI dot identification, object page fields, UI dot facets, like object page section structure. Like we have different UI annotations which we use for different things. So you can have multiple projection view from single interface view. Okay, we can build multiple projection views using this single interface view because the data is gonna be shown in multiple ways. If for suppose I have five records here, in the first projection view I'm gonna show two, in the second projection view I'm gonna show three, in the third projection view I'm gonna show like five, all the five. Got it? So here we are gonna have multiple projection view, like admin view, read only view, mobile view, like all from the same, like coming from the same interface view. In the project terminologies I'm saying, like admin view, read-only view, mobile views. So next is like behavior definition view. Okay, let me clear this first. Have you understood this projection view? Am I clear?
Yes.
Great. So next is like behavior definition view. In this behavior definition, that means like in small terminology we use BDEF, behavior definition. This is a new object type in ADT, not a CDS view, not an ABAP class. It's an object type. So here the declaration like only declaration only file type. Okay. ABAP code lives here. Like we are gonna define whatever the ABAP code we are gonna do, we are gonna define in this behavior. So it declares what the business object can do. Like we are declaring stuff. Okay. Here like here I have wrote like create, update, delete, which means I'm declaring that this specific Fiori application is gonna have create, update, delete operations in it. Okay. So here we are gonna only do declaration, no ABAP, no implementation is gonna happen here. And then we are gonna have like behavior definition. So here in the behavior definition, our main implementation takes place. Okay, the main ABAP logic comes into the picture. So whatever the validation, actions, logic, anything is there, we are gonna perform everything in this behavior definition. Okay, and what next we are gonna do after whatever we are declaring, we are creating an implementation and action for it here. Okay, which we are gonna use today. And okay, we are not gonna implement the crude operation because what happens is SAP handles insert, update, delete automatically based on this behavior definition. Whatever the behavior definition is there, it's SAP gonna handle everything automatically. So what we do is like we only write business logic for validation, determination, any action logic. If we wanna have, we are gonna write that. Okay, like actions in the sense status changes or user button click, like that, those type of actions. Okay, and next we are gonna have this service definition. So service definition is simplest file in RAP. It's the smallest and simplest file in this overall 7 layers. So it answers only one question: which CDS projection view do I want to expose as an OData service? Got it? Which projection view? Even though you have multiple projections, it's gonna ask us like which CDS projection view we want to expose. That's the only thing we are gonna keep it in service definition. That thing we will see today in our class as well. Okay. And last but not the least, service binding. Service binding is the last layer. This binds the service definition, this service definition to a specific protocol. Like for Fiori, OData v4 UI type we are gonna use. So that's where this gonna be binded. So when we activate and publish this binding, a real HTTP endpoint is generated. The URL becomes uh, callable from any browser. That URL can be displayed from any browser, Chrome, Firefox, anywhere, any REST clients, any Fiori app. So these are the 7 layers, 7 objects. We build all 7 of them today. Okay. So take means like make your systems ready. If you guys have Eclipse ADT installed, if you have attended previous sessions, that may have help you to install everything and access. So let's start. Okay. I hope everything is clear till now.
Yes.
Yeah, remember these 7 layers. I want you guys to remember because this architecture is the foundation of every single RAP project you will ever work on, even in your future practical projects as well. This is the basic foundation. So, again, later let's go into slide. This is simple slide. I'm gonna explain the difference between managed and managed. This is not gonna take much time. Before writing any single line of code, let's understand these two things. Okay, first, managed versus unmanaged. So when you create a behavior definition, we are gonna choose one of these things, managed or unmanaged. So when you managed means like SAP generates and execute all the database SQL for you. You don't do it manually. Everything happens automatically. When a user clicks save in your application, Fiori application, the RAP framework produces the insert statement for a new record or update statement for a change record or the delete statement for the removed record. You do not write a single line of SQL. You do not call any select or insert in your ABAP code. SAP handles everything based on this persistence table. Okay, you specify in the behavior definition, SAP gonna handles. Unmanaged means you implement the same logic yourself. Okay, this is method called like save modified in the behavior implementation class. You write your own insert, update, delete statements inside it. More flexible way, or in a grammatical code, or much harder. I mean, like it's much harder to get it right. So then why are we even needing this unmanaged? When you like, for suppose when you migrating from legacy scenario that has complex multi-table save logic, okay, that cannot be decomposed into RAP managed model. When you need the update tables in a specific sequence that RAP managed cannot handle at all, then when legacy function modules must be called as a part of save phase. In that scenario, these unmanaged scenarios is very helpful. For that reason, this unmanaged is mostly used. Okay, for for everything else, for all new BTP developments, the managed scenario is gonna be considered. So always we are always start with manage. You can add all the business logic via termination, validation, and actions, and without ever touching this save mechanism. We used manage today. Okay. So first, what are we building today? Here, I have kept a list of field names. So first, understand what are we gonna build today. So first, we are gonna have production ID as a as a unique key where we are taking it as an ABAPCAT 10, which means 10 characters. This is gonna be our primary key. Vendor name, the vendor or supplier name. I think these things you guys understand when you see the screen. I will not go in detail. This will take our time. So next, what we are gonna do, we are gonna build the live. First, we will start with database table. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in my Eclipse editing. This is the Eclipse editing environment. If you have seen the session 1 and 2, we have seen how we can connect to the BTP trial. This is my, I have already connected here, but it's showing every time when you log in, it will give you a pop-up to log in into the BTP cockpit so that it will connect from there to here. So basically what I do is like I copy the URL from the clipboard here by clicking this button. It gets loaded and I will go into the browser. I will click on this. I will enter. But before that, I think I need to go on BTP. Yeah, I need to log in here. Okay, this is my account. Let's continue. So This is the BTP trial account which I have. It's asking me, see, because I haven't logged in, it's asking me to log in my account. If you already log in now, it will directly show you this screen that it is successfully logged in. So I will both for both of you, I'm gonna show that how we are gonna, you know, we will see that ABAP instance and the URLs for which how we are connected. So after getting login, the screen will come like this. We will go to the trial account. Okay, this is the sub trial account. This trial account is used by n number of users. So we will go here instance and subscriptions. So I have shown in my previous session how we created this instance here. Okay, for that I am going into this inside this application. I'm gonna click on this service key. We use this URL. Okay, we use this URL in our ADT system to connect our BTP trial and ADT account. So our from whatever operations we can perform from ADT, we will have all the access from this trial account over there. So as we logged in, if we go to our ADT screen, see it's already logged in. So we have already seen how to create a package as well. Just we need to right click on this new, one second, yeah, new ABAP package. You guys can go and create a new ABAP package over there. As I have already created with Z, starting with Z. I will go with my Z, Alicia. Where is this? Oh, this one. See, I have my Alicia. We have in the last two sessions we have created classes. Those classes, see, bad class and good class also we have created in Rajshekar system. So what I'm gonna do, our first layer is what? Can anyone tell me? I am expecting an answer. Okay, Priyanka, Pooja. Yeah,
Database layer.
yes, the database layer. So first we are gonna create our database table. So for that, please look at the steps what I'm gonna create. Let me close all of this so that you don't have any problem with understanding. Okay. So here I'm gonna see this is my package. I'm gonna right click on it, new, other object, other ABAP repository objects. I'm going in others and I'm trying to search for database table. Database. See, I can see the database table over here. Click on it. Next. So as we discussed, we are gonna name it as Z purchase order header. Okay. So what we are gonna give the description is purchase order header. Okay. Clear purchase order, HDR and purchase order header. Click on next. So this we don't need. So just click on the finish. So for here, what I have did is I have already wrote the code here. I will just copy this and paste it over here and I will explain you everything. So let me save this. So here, first of all, let's understand here this end user text label purchase order header. This what is this? This is a human readable name of the table. It appears in the data dictionary when someone searches for our table in editing. So using this name, they can able to search. And second is ABAP catalog enhancement category. Uh, this means like no one can add any custom fields to this table using this using the extension framework. No one can able to extend this because for that reason we have kept non-extensible. Okay, for your own Z tables in development, this is the correct and recommended settings which I would suggest. Okay, and next is like ABAP catalog table category. What it is telling you is like transparent, same as in the classical ABAP. Okay, transparent table means like one database table, one ABAP structure, direct one-to-one mapping. This is the standard for application database table. So this is for that reason here it's mentioned as transparent. And ABAP catalog delivery class hashtag A means here A means application data. This is the data that user create and modify at runtime. Okay, as supposed we also have C for customizing data and G for system data that ships like with SAP. So we have two different as well, two different categories as well. So last one is like ABAP catalog data maintenance hashtag restricted. So this means direct table maintenance via like old SM30 equivalent. Okay, there is restrict SM30 if you remember, same equivalent to that. We manage data through our application. User do not maintain this table directly. Simply user do not maintain this table directly. We are gonna have the access and all. So let's talk about the fields now. The fields like we can create a number of fields, but here what I'm gonna explain you mainly this. See, in our S11, if you have created, you guys have created the table, you remember keeping one mandatory field as MA and DT, right? Same thing we are gonna keep in here. We are gonna keep key client abap dot client not null. This is our MA and DT in this table. So that means like this is mandatory. Like in all client dependent transparent table, this is mandatory. That client field like isolates data between SAP clients like MA and DT in our classic ECC. So it isolates the data. Here ABAP CLNT is special type of client field. So we always include this at our first as our first key field. Okay. Second key field is like our ABAP ID. Sorry, not ABAP ID, purchase order ID. So which we have seen in our slide as well. We have list of fields and their types. Here, what I'm gonna specifically tell you about is currency. Okay, it means like notice like what I'm trying to tell you. Notice this abap dot cuqi, not abap dot char 5. We have used char, but for currency we have used cuky. So this is a specific abap type for currency codes. If you use abap dot char here, na, the semantics, amount and notations in CDS will not work accordingly and correctly. For that reason, Fiori will not format the amount with the currency symbol. So for that reason, we use this cuqi. Understood? And if you see, we have different type for created at as well. ABAP.UTC long. So this is a cloud native timestamp type. Okay, in classical ABAP, you had separate datetime time fields like ERDAT, ERZDT, like that. Here, this UTC long stores the complete timestamp in one field, like date, time, and time zone information. So when you use XCO framework, we have SCO framework to set these values. Okay, you get a UTC safe timestamp using that framework. So this works like UTC long. This works correctly regardless of which data SAP data center or region your SAP system BTP system is runs on. Irrespective of that, it will make it work. Okay, understood? I hope this program you understood it. So for see here, if you see, we can see this new locked. Okay, let me. Okay, I can't move this. Yeah. Here, if you see, we have new locked. We for to activate this, what we do, right click on anywhere Simply you can see activate over here. Is this here? Or you can use this control F3 as well. So first I will activate it. See, now new log went and it gave you active here. Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay, great. So here you can see here in my structure, yeah, I can see the dictionary now. If I expand this dictionary, I can see database table. If I expand this, I can see my purchase order database table. Okay. So let me open with data preview how it looks like. Let's see. See what I did. I selected my table here. I right clicked on it. I clicked on open with data preview. Then you can see all your clients, purchase order, vendor name, purchase order date, total amount, currency, status, created date, created when. But we don't have any data over here, right? Insert the data. Right now we are gonna create a class to insert the data, but in the most in the updated versions of Eclipse ADT, here there is a plus button will get be provided from which you can add the data from here itself. But in this version I don't have. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a class, new ABAP class. Okay. So for this class, what I'm gonna name it as, like, we are inserting, right? ZCL, insert this, yeah, insert purchase order. So here it's inserting data from our class. Okay. But for class, we need a interface. To add an interface, I'm clicking this and search for if object oriented ADT class run out is available or not. You can search for it here in the search bar. After searching, click on this. Okay. Select this. Click on next. The class already exists. Okay. Let's create another class. Let's create PO1. Let me select next. So see, finish. It's gonna create me a class. Let me close this. See, it's created me a class. But what I will do, I will paste the code what I have done and I will explain you about the class now. And I will also show you the about the ATC errors. Okay, let me also paste it in the chat now. Okay, let me paste first what we have created. First, database table name, purchase order underscore HDR, right? Okay, I'm also gonna paste the code for this, what we have wrote here. I want you guys to do this parallelly, but as you don't have your ADT, create a class. Okay, next we created a class to insert the data. Okay, this is exceeding this limit. We'll send you from somewhere else. Okay, this class. So first understand what we are doing here. Let's need to name this as PO1. Here also PO1. See, here this is the class definition. Okay, here we are defining a class which where we are defining it as a public and we are defining one interface which we have selected while creating. So now we will implement the class. Is the screen visible here?
Yes.
So this interface is we are implementing here. Okay. Here what we have done, we have created a user, date and For UTC long, we have created one other variable. Okay. Here for user, we have gave it as a system user name, and for date, it's simply D. Type UTC long, we are using UTC long itself. After creating those, I means like this variable for user, what I'm trying, I'm using one already existed class and method to get the user technical name. So what it will do, it will go into that method and it will share that user specific name to this variable, and it's gonna be stored there. And for date also, it's gonna take the system date and it's gonna store the date here. For UTC long, we are gonna get the current time zone. Okay, we are using this current system one and we are gonna store there. So these three values we have used to insert the values. Okay, before that, what I have done, I have created a internal table purchase order for purchase order with the type of HDR. Right, we created HDR, purchase order header. See, wait, if I am giving it as P, no, let me give it as O. See, you can, the red lines you can see, right? Here, and see, for suppose, okay, if I go here, instead of, if I remove this, see, that's, this is getting highlighted. This is the ATC checker, which is getting populated automatically. Understood? So, this is the simple way where the ATC checks happens automatically. After creating the internal table, I'm passing the values, like first inserting the row, like for each of the variable and field, I'm inserting the value from here and also here. Let's add another field. Okay, let's add, take this, let's paste it over here. Let's give it as purchase order 3. Instead of TCS, let's give Wipro. Okay. Instead of 75, let's give 50. Okay. INR status is pending only. No, let's give closed. Closed. Okay. So we have created the class. We have inserted, see, we insert this HDR into our internal table. Okay. Whatever we created, we are inserting this in our HDR table. From this internal table, we are using insert table name from table or internal table. Okay. If this is size above is 0, committing to write any statements, we use out arrow right. In ABAP, we use only right. Here, this out underscore is added on. So if it's successful, data inserted, else it's failed. So now we run this class, we activate this class. You can see that console is passing, gonna pass you data inserted. Oh, console displayed. Okay. I just activated, right? I haven't run this class. So I'm gonna click on right click, see run as ABAP application console. Data insert successfully. So what I will do, I will click on my class, right click, open with data preview. Let's see the data is there. Yes, the data has came visible, right?
Yes.
So our first layer completed. We created a database table. We also created a class to insert a values and data from our class to database table. Understood? So next, what is our next layer? CDS interface view. So like first of all, let's create a CDS interface view, and I will explain accordingly. Okay. So for that also, what we are gonna do, it's already 9 now. We have started late, so it's gonna be late. So I will right click on this new other app repository. We are gonna go for data definitions. See, data definition. You can see CDS. Inside that we have this data definition. Select that. Next. So the data interface view, what we will give? CIV, yeah, purchase order. Description, PO, header interface view. Let me select this. It's not getting selected. Yeah. Next. See, it's telling data definition already exists. Let me add. So many people works, right? We can't have the same names. We need to use different names every time. Even see, you guys can see a different users. So okay, it's no issue. Select next. Uh, Finish. So what I will do, maybe let's see, where is this data? CDS data definition. This is our class. So what I will do, let me go and paste this here and we'll understand accordingly. So here see what is happening in interface view. Access control authorization check not required because we don't need any authorization check here. We only, we are only defining using it like for without, for basic purpose. So for that reason we are not having any authorization check here. So basically, like let's understand and recap. In this layer, we don't have any like UI annotations and any visual related code. So we don't have any UI annotations here. And first, what we have like we will define root entities, not just we define view entity. We define root entities. See, we are defining root view entity, which is purchase Z purchase order. Okay, interface view purchase order 1 as select from Z purchase order HDR which we created. Okay, from our database table, this view is gonna be created. As we have already, if you remember this PPT, where is this? This CDS interface view is gonna use our database table. It's using our database table. Create a view. Okay. So what we have done, we are creating alias names. Okay. Instead of direct field names, we are creating a field catalog. If you remember in ALV grid, we have a field catalog where we give our field type is different, but we name the field name as different, right? So here we are giving our field as POID, vendor name as vendor name, like that. If you see here, see, this is same as our defined names, right? How we created in the database field name is coming exactly that way, which is not user friendly. Here in the interface view, we are giving the alias names. I hope this is easy to understand. I have activated this. Okay. Now I will click on this interface view, open with data preview. See, it's now showing us our alias names. Understood this? I hope I'm clear.
Yes.
Okay, next go to the projection view where that doesn't directly access our database table. It will Simply every time what we do, we click our package, right click it, new ABAP repository object, we will search for specific according to our requirement. Okay. So what now we are gonna do? We are gonna create a data definition, which is also a CDS view, right? See definition view definition. Next. So this is projection view. For projection view, ZV purchase order 1. Description RPO. Projection view is the better. Yeah, here we have already. See, we have already spoken that for data definition, sorry, purchase view, sorry, projection view, we are gonna have interface view using that. If I am selecting here next, yeah, it should throw an error, right? Let me try to use this. 1 second. Browse. Here I should, my interface should come here. Let me cross check once. Okay, that thing we are gonna do in implementation of behavior. Simply click on next. Next. See here, it's gonna show us like projection view. Okay, projection view. We are selecting a projection view here. For definition, we are going define entity view. We are based on our requirement and view, we are gonna select. So for now, we are going to with projection view. It will create a projection view for us. So I look at it's already created. See, this is the ATC errors which we can see. I will, what we are gonna do, we are gonna copy this. We are gonna entirely paste this. Save. See, it's telling me that okay, we are gonna rename it as 1. It's went. So here we need to understand this stuff. We need to get to know what happening in here. The CDS projection view, this is what the Fiori user can see. So here we are defining what what we want the user to see. So look like a very first line of the code, define view entity. So here very first like view entity, we are defining the view entity. Okay. So it's I like here what happens. I want you guys to first notice something. We say as projection on, like we are saying projection on ZIV as we used here, like where is that? Yeah, here select from purchase header, purchase order header. Same like here we are gonna saying like as projection on ZIV purchase order. Okay. So here this projection they do not do independently. So they do not independently select from it. Okay. They project a consumer specific view of it. Understood? They're not taking independently. This distinction, like as projection on, this distinction is like versus as like as select from. Okay. So this is similar like to like that. Remember this. They will ask you in the interview as well. What is as projection on? Can you do this projection on? Similarly in classic ABAP, you can say that as projection is similar to as select from specific tables and all. Got it? So here what we are doing. Okay. I want you to know like note it down if you are having a notes over with you. So UI annotations here, we are having different UI annotations. Before that, let's understand this UI annotations. Here, see, this is the same authorization check. This is the label which the projection view is gonna be searched in this ADT. Okay, and we are using this metadata as true. Okay, understand this UI header info type name purchase order. So this sets the entity title in the Fiori object as page header. Okay, this is the page header title which we are gonna see on our Fiori page. Second, see header info type name plural. So if it's plural, it's gonna be as purchase orders. Understood? And here in the inside, we are defining UI line item. Okay, the UI line item purchase position 10 label PO number. This annotation on PO ID, okay, makes it appear as column 1 in the Fiori list report table. Okay, with the position 10, which means first column. Understood? And second is, I hope if you have worked on ALB reports, from column to column, there is a specific value we give 5, 15, 20 to make the value space for that specific column. Similarly, we are giving as position 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That that specific positions, it's gonna be taken by this specific field key POID vendor name. So, understood? I think this is simple to understand. Okay, we are just simply using the increment of 10, so we can insert a columns let without without any disturbance. So next is UI. Here, if you see here, UI selection field position 10. What this makes is like this makes our purchase order ID appear as filter feed in the list report. Whatever the list we are gonna see in our output, this is gonna show, make us see the filter feed. User can filter the list of PO numbers. Okay, we add this to purchase order ID and status, so anyone can filter by those fields. So for that reason we are adding here. I'm adding here for vendor name also, because we can have a search, you know, like filter to find more. We have filters, right, with that specific operation. It, because of this, we are gonna have. Okay, but we don't need to search with purchase order date, amount, currency, right? And we can also check with status complete, open, processing, like that. We can also filter using that. For that reason, we are giving it as selection field. So it's complete. So let's activate. I hope this is very easy to understand everything, right?
Yes.
Great. So means like from this projection view, they will ask you like what is the provider contract, transactional query in CDS projection view. Huh? This type of questions they will ask you in in very professional way. So this is like you can simply tell them like RAP specific declarations happens in projection view that tells the framework this view is gonna be visible in the by a Fiori elements. Okay, in like a typically like a list report we are gonna see, like that you can answer based on your practical experience what projection view does. This is where your UI annotations are written. So this is simply you are designing your Fiori application with Fiori elements. I hope this is very clear. And let's we have another layer. Next layer is behavior definition, behavior implementation, service definition, service binding. So behavior definition implementation we are gonna do, and service definition and implementation is single step. I will show you how quickly it happens. So let's define a behavior definition first. So what we will do, we will again go to this new other object. We will search for behavior definition. Okay, next. So let's give it as what name we have. Z behavior definition. Yeah, see, I'm trying to type here, but it's not allowing me to type. Why? Why? Because it's asking me for a root entity. Okay, the root entity will be same as like our interface view. Whatever the interface view we have created, we need to use in our behavior definition, not our projection view, not our database, not our any other view. except only interface view. So for that reason, what I will do, I will browse here. Okay, I will search for my ZIV purchase order one. I think I have created. See, this one, this entity is my entity. So I'm selecting that. Okay, root entity is selected. So see, the name already came here. So what I will do, I will give a description. Let's give PO behavior. Oh, everything is already there. PO behavior definition simply. Next, you understand this step, right? We need to select the root entities, which is our interface view. I hope this is clear. Don't get confused while you do your practical after this class. See, our definition, behavior definition, basic structure has been created. So what I will do, let's go here. I will simply make you understand everything here. So purchase order one. So here what happens? It's showing us warning. I will let you understand what is happening over there. So first of all, what I want, okay, understand what this behavior definition is. Okay. So here the uh, managed implementation in class, here you can see our behavior definition name, which is very unique. But with this name, we need to create a class. How we will create, I will show you. Let's first what we will do. I will explain you this behavior definition. So let me double click on this. I think I have there is an implemented class over there. So let's give it one. So see, when I'm clicking one, this shows the class is not present. Let me search for this class itself. File, open file, because it's not allowing us to create a class. So we will go for search. Search. What is the class name? We will understand from there. GBP. When you double click, it will ask us to create a class. See here we have implementation. So simply this implementation is needed so that we can use here in our behavior definition, the class. In this class, we are not implementing any behavior like create, update, delete. We are not implementing anything because this is done by SAP automatically. Okay, this is the class just creating a definition of behavior ZIV purchase order. Let's say R is 1, right? We will give it as 1. Okay, it's some others class, right? It's throwing us error. So what we will do, we will create actually ours. So let's do one thing. What I will do, let's create a class by ourselves and implement it. Hmm. Let's create this, copy this, and let's paste in our classes. Okay, so we are not allowed to do this, but it's not allowing us to create another class here. Let me try once again. To create a class. Let me double click this. Multiple markers. It's not allowing me. So basically, when we double click this, right, it will allow us to create a class for this specific thing. I'm not understanding. We will look into it later. Okay, let's not waste the time. I will save this first of all. So see what I'm doing. We are taking a class implementation, managed implementation, where nothing specifically behavior implementation is nothing happening over there. So we don't we don't need to create any specific behavior there. Okay, it SAP automatically does. So we are see, we are defining behavior ziv order 1 alias our purchase name. We are giving it as purchase order. So the persistent table is our database table, which is this. Okay, so log master means like it will help us to what in a basic way what happens is we will create, update, delete. These three lines declares the purchase order entity supports, which is like these three operations. In Fiori, uh, like for suppose in Fiori already this create button exists, edit buttons exist, delete button exists. So we don't need any implementation for all these things. Okay, what coming to this log master, what is this? This implements logging for business objects. For suppose when user A opens purchase order 1 for editing, a log is set. Okay, log is gonna be set that time. If user B tries to open the same purchase order 1 for editing at the same time, they will receive this record is logged by some this user. Okay, this prevents our classical concurrent update problem when two user overwrite each other changes. So multiple at a time changes that conflict is resolved by this lock master. Okay, and what we have see this authorization master global. Globally it authorized e tag master created it. E tag stands for entity tag. If you remember this entity tag, this is a version identifier for a record. Like we use the created at timestamp, okay, field as e tag. This created at timestamp field as e tag. So when the Fiori clients read a purchase order record, the OData response includes this e tag value. So that means when the client sends an update, a patch request, it includes this e tag. If an match header type, okay, the server checks does this e tag in the request matches what is in our database. If yes, nobody changed the record. Okay, since you read it, okay, in update proceeded, so nobody changes the record. If no, someone changed the record while you are editing, so server rejects with http 412 error. Okay, this is simple, like this prevents overwriting changes. Okay, for multiple user applications this prevent that. So here inside it, we are writing create an update, and this field read only POID. So this means the POID field cannot be changed after the record is created. It is set at creation time and read only thereafter. No, this prevents any user accidentally changing the PO number after it has been submitted. Understood? So it doesn't. Okay. And here what we are doing, we are mapping our table. Okay, we are mapping our table, our field name, alias names, and our field names. So everything gets matched here. Let's activate this. So basically, we are defining what behavior we want. Okay, we don't want any overlapping. We don't want any multiple users. One when one user is editing, another user editing the same records. We don't want this you know mis miscommunication happening over the between the users or all. So for that reason, we are defining every action here. Okay, so this is activated. right? If I see, yeah, this is activated already. So we have defined the behavior. Let's implement the behavior. So again, we will click on new behavior implementation. We will give what name we should give, like, yeah, behavior definition, right? So what we will again search for behavior implementation is what we have done. I think, see, sorry, my mistake. Here, when we click on this, it shows as an option here to create a class. When we create a class, that is the behavior implementation for create, update, delete. Okay, this class is only the implementation class. Okay, here we are not implementing anything because SAP handled everything. So our last two steps are service binding and service implementation. Sorry, service defining and service implementation. So basically what I'm gonna search, service definition. Service, oh sorry, service. I think here it's visible. Service definition. Next, these two, like 6 and 7, are like two more objects. So these are the like fastest steps in overall 7 steps. So in service definition first, like this is literally one line. Okay, we will just expose our projection view as purchase order. Okay, this is very simple. Let me give it as ZSD purchase order. Description is like PO service definition is great. Simply next, next. Service definition we have already selected here. Finish. Okay, our service definition is created. See what we are gonna do here. We are gonna, sorry, our service definition 1, CV1. Yeah. So what we are doing, we are just labeling it as PO service definition, and we are defining service. The service name we created. We are exposing our projection view as purchase order. This is simple, right? Activate. This is simple, you know, serv service definition. This is very simple step in entire project. Whatever we do in the entire process. So now what we need to do, we need to bind the service. So for that reason, what we will do, we will go and create a service binding similar way. Okay, I will show you. Search for service binding. See here, I can see service binding. Next. So let's give as service binding of Z. Okay. Z purchase order O data service binding, right? So we will give the description as what should we give? O data V4 service binding. Hmm? Okay. See, it's asking us the binding type. We need to select O data V4 UI. Okay, we are not gonna select O data V2, O data V4 UI. And we need to browse our service definition, which is SD purchase order 1. Sorry, 1. Select OK. Next. Finish. So see, here we are seeing general information. We are selected OData V4 UI as our service binding type. services, we have defined our services, and using that services we bind it. Here you can see our service name. Okay. We can also add our services and remove accordingly. So here see publish button is disabled because this is not yet activated. So let's activate this. Right click. Okay, right click is not happening. Let's do Control F3. See, it's activated now. Activated. It's showing me publish. Let's click on this publish button and wait for 15 seconds. Let's wait for some time. I hope this is understandable, right? Priyanka, Pooja, you guys are there still in class?
Yes.
Great. You understand, right? Anything you don't understand, let me know.
Yes, sure.
Uh, Means like all the steps clear to you?
Yes.
Great. I'm gonna give the homework, so be ready with the homework to do it.
Okay.
Actually, I wanted to show you guys to create a GitHub and have a collaborative repository so that we can post all our homeworks over there and projects over there and keep a track of everything. But we will have it when everyone is present. Okay? It's taking time, so let's wait for it. Meanwhile, it's publishing our local services. Oh, meantime, let me check in the browser. Is it still logged in? Yeah. If this is not logged in, it will take more time to publish. Okay, it will fail. See, this is published. Hooray. See, first we will test this URL. Okay, we will test this swagger UI available, right? So why this I'm showing you here, when you click this test button in service binding, this opens, right? Here, where is this get purchase order? This and get purchase order POID are listed. This is batch request we have listed. So this is what we have, like these links are where we will see our, see, I will copy this. Let me copy this. Let me click on this here also we have, right? These are very important, okay? In project teams, they will share you these links. You will just, see, using the same link, you will change this O data. You will change the required fields accordingly. But this scenario is very important. Here, the all the database tables are visible in a web browser type, okay? So here it's showing us metadata, name, URL. So this is basic thing. It's an ABAP documentation and all. This is something useful only. You can have it, but let's see for service binding published. Yeah, it's see here you can see this status as well change. Now let's test our Fury application. Let's click on preview. I hope it gets logged. See. Oh, nice. See, this is our table field names, purchase order number, vendor name, date, amount, currency, and status, right?
Yes.
And if you remember in our definition, where is this definition? Like, yeah, here in our projection view, we have given selection field option to three fields: purchase order ID, vendor name, and status. That thing you can see here. We can filter out this. Okay, getting me? If I'm clicking, let's see what data we have. Click on open with data preview. We have PO hyphen, okay, PO hyphen 0001. If I click on okay, I'm selecting this condition here. Basically, even if we filter, not list of purchase order data comes with the specific feature which we have not implemented it. But in our project capstone, we will include everything. So I'm I'm just clicking on go. See, my data is coming, right? If I filter out with vendor name, what is the Wipro? Let's search for Wipro Limited. Okay, let's give on go. Oh, it's not coming. I think vendor name is not fetching out properly. Okay, we need to look into it. But yeah, but this is how we can filter out equal to. Here also, is it equal to? Yeah. Status, I think the options is need to be shown. So here we can see, right? If we click on go, see it's showing us purchase order 1 and 2. Open and pending. I think this is someone else page it's being shown. We also have another purchase order here, but I think this is someone else Fiori application is being viewed. Why is it happening? In our purchase order, we have 3, right? Yeah. But basically, yes, this is how it will show you. Okay. We open pending completed. This is how you will see. When we click on this, we need to work on everything. When we click on that, this is inside our purchase order 1 application, but we haven't implemented any further operations here, so it's coming empty. But when we click on here, right, it will show us whatever the purchase order details we have in detail with different subsections and all. For suppose here, this is, see, this is also a Fiori application. See, I'm clicking on this arrow. It's showing me an app, detailed app information, right? Different subsections and all. This is what happens. Like we can also work on everything using ABAP. I hope this is very clear. Okay, let's have a recap of everything what we have done till now. First, we have created a database table where we created one table. Okay, after that we implemented a class using our insert class. I mean, like we inserted values from here, and next we created interface view where we have given alias names for our field names, and we have created a projection view where we have told in our Fiori application what are the elements and what are the things we want to see using an UI annotations. We have done that, and then we have created a behavior definition. Okay, when we click on this class, it will directly implement a behavior definition, sorry, behavior implementation happens where we don't do anything implementation specifically. We will just create and save, activate that, and then we have implemented all the behavior definitions whatever we require. We have declared everything here, and we have done service definition. We have used our like projection view, and we have binded using this service definition, and we can able to see our published Fiori. Okay, this is something related to the proof, live proof that the app is working. You can go with service binding as published. That means your app is working, and you can see the real data in your Fiori app. You can see this Swagger UI OData V4 API is being created, and also a JSON file where OData service root JSON has been mentioned only from this Eclipse. Where is this Eclipse? Yeah, only from this single page. I hope this clears so much. And then next. So basically, these common mistakes happen when we create a huge Fiori applications. So I have listed out here, like sometimes uh, wrong name, ATC checks shows us that we are doing it wrong, but instead I am also making it out so that you guys don't make these mistakes specifically. Okay, and then let's discuss what we have been this like takeaways from this class. First of all, we have 5 golden rules from this session 3. Those 5 I have listed here. First one is RAP, which is replacing our RAP, like one framework 7 layers, which is replacing our SCGW plus our BOPF and SM30, everything into one framework. So, and second one is interface view, which uses like as select from purchase order table name without any user interface annotations, and projection view, which uses as projection on, if you remember, as like provider contractor with UI annotation. As projection on, we give the uh, interface name. And the third one is behavior definition, where we use the interface name to define it and include the field mapping block as well here. And fourth one is managed. Managed means every SAP, like in behavior implementation, we haven't created any CRUD operation. SAP automatically does those CRUD operation. So we only focus on layer 5 only. Okay. Next is fifth golden rule is we activated it and we published our service. Yeah, so there we can see our test data which we have created from the class, and we can verify using all the status as published and all. So these are the 5 golden rules we have been taken from this class, and then implemented Fiori application live we have seen, right? So let's discuss the homework now. I'm gonna give 3 tasks for this from this session. First, I want and you guys to do this task. Uh, Practice whatever we have learned. All these 7, I want you to uh, practice in your systems, and do share me screenshots of your Fiori developed application in the WhatsApp group, and even I'm gonna share the code. If you face any errors and all, you can share the screenshot. I will help you personally to resolve those errors as well. And after sending the homework, I want to add a extra field, which named as payment terms, with the, like here I have mentioned payment terms with the above character 4. Okay, to our to your specific table, and update our interface view using adding our payment terms alias. Like simply I will explain here in the Eclipse. I want you guys to add one database table, right? So see, I want you to add one new extra field here. After adding, I want you to go into the interface view and add the alias name for it. And after adding it, I want you guys to go in this projection view and add a UI, this type of UI line item here. Okay, positioning like 70 and the label as payment terms, like that. Okay, and after adding, I want you guys next to go in the behavior definitions. Don't do everything all at once. I want a different screenshot. I want like this specifical 5 fields, like 5 not 6 fields first, and the data listed over here. When you click on go, I want all the data listed here. I want you to create 5 at least fields, and take a screenshot of that and send me the homework. Then later, after you practice it, then I want to add you guys to add another extra field, which is payment terms, and create later now create behavior definition. After you create a behavior definition, implementation of like when you activate, implementation happens automatically. So activate all, and when you do like when you come into this service publishing, okay, binding, service binding, when you come into the service binding, where is our service, business services, right? Yeah, service, in service definition, no extra changes needed. When you do this, like remove this service and re-add the service again, and wait for some time, activate this, wait for some time, again publish it. Okay, then you can able to see all that new extra column appearing in your Fiori page. Or else if you don't unpublish it, just activate everything. Service binding automatically show you the extra column over there. Okay, that way it's easy. And after that, this is one task. Second task is run this class again. Okay, okay, run this class, insert class again. Try seeing, okay, like here we have, right? Run this class again. Try see like to see, okay, if insert is getting failed. Okay, if insert is getting failed or not, duplicate data is coming or not. I want you to check that and note a point. Okay, if it's coming and coming, and what is the solution we should be taking care of. If it's not coming, then well and good. You will understand, okay, why is it not coming and all. And also open the Fiori status, select the status open, and verify every filter status, everything is working or not, and take all those screenshots, and keep safe. Okay, like save it in your systems, so that when we create a git, I want everything to be uploaded in that git only. Okay, I will check from each and everyone whoever attending the class. And the task 3 will be open and understand this Swagger UI. Okay, I want you to click this link. I want you guys to understand this data context, whatever coming here. Okay, screenshot your JSON file as well. Where is our JSON file? Let me check. See, this is the JSON file here. We have everything, whatever we have done now, everything is listed from here. Our PO date, currency, status, what are the fields we have, everything is listed here. See, the purchase order with maximum length, then we have given. So I want this to you guys to analyze what JSON it's creating. Okay, these things analyzing, understanding is very important, because in the live project it's gonna be there. You guys will work with this type of data. You guys filter out the date metadata with OData and all, and you will work on changes on this type. So I want this to be understand by each one of you, and share me the JSON file and your this print preview of data context and all. Okay, and Fiori with filtering, with filter, like if you select on POID, it should filter here with vendor name, with status. If you guys face any error, I want you to share the screenshot and we will resolve it together. I hope homework is clear, right? Any doubts from homework? Priyanka, Pooja. Okay. So basically you guys don't have any questions?